Until the mid-90s, the Harlan Green Dragons had not won a state championship since 1944. That was with future Kentucky Wildcat Wawa Jones. Harlan went on to win that state championship 40-28 over Dayton. Jump to 50 years later, 1994. Head coach Mike Jones and his Harlan Green Dragons had their eye on the All-A state title. Harlan reached the semifinals of the 1993 All-A state tournament and lost in heartbreaking fashion on a last-second layup by Fulton County.
We did too much celebrating before the game was actually over. We had made a basket, Thomas had made a basket to put us ahead of Fulton County by one, and then we started celebrating to get back on defense, and they made an outstanding play to just throw the ball the length of the floor and shoot a layup as the horn was going off, and it was a heartbreaker. So our goal was to get back the next year and win it.
Back to 1994, the Green Dragons were the top-ranked team in the state with a 15-2 record to start the season.
At each position, I thought we were as good as anybody in the state, and evidently the other coaches felt that way because they had voted us first. But anytime you get that kind of material like that, it's once in a lifetime in most places, especially in a small school like that.
We didn't have no selfish players on the team. All we cared about was winning, and whether I scored 2 points or Thomas had 35 or Cox had 2 points, it didn't matter. As long as we won, we was all satisfied.
Harlan faced off with Nicholas County in the first round of the All-A state tournament. Nicholas County, on paper, no match for the top-ranked Harlan Green Dragons, but this was one of the few times that season Harlan had to gut out a tough win to advance on. They were down as many as 10 points to Nicholas County, but squeaked out a 1-point win 48-47. The quarterfinal and semifinal rounds were a different story for Harlan. They jumped right out and showed the rest of the state why the Green Dragons were the top dog in the Commonwealth, beating Covington, Holy Cross, and Caverna with ease, and they punched their ticket to the All-A state championship game, their first state title appearance of any kind since the 1994 Sweet 16. Standing in the Green Dragons' way of a title, the University Heights Blazers.
You hear people saying, well, they're a semi-college team. They can beat semi-college teams. They've got they had a kid, Greg Butner, who's playing for the Dallas Mavericks now, and they've got a kid, Isaiah Victor, who plays for Tennessee, and Lamont Barnes that plays for Temple. So they had a really nice squad, but we felt like we were still the better team.
Charles Thomas scored the first basket of the game off a baseline jumper, but for the rest of the first quarter, it was the University Heights show. All the momentum favored the Blazers. That was until this happened.
Number 3, T.J. Hollowell, 19-9.
You could tell on film, and especially when you was at the playing in the game, that when the shot went in, before I let the shot go, that they were celebrating, walking back to the bench. And, they was satisfied that they was beating us double digits. Then when the shot went in, their whole bench and crowd just went in awe, and it's like it shocked them. And I think it really took a lot of momentum out of them and put it on our side.
And that's exactly what it did. That 75-footer put a spring in Harlan's step, and the second half belonged to the Green Dragons. After the heartbreak of the 1993 All-A semis, Harlan was finally able to celebrate its first state championship in 50 years.
I don't think there's any doubt that you can ask people that deal with the Class A that they think that they can't have a tournament without Harlan being there. And I don't think any doubt that that's one of the best teams that's ever played in the Class A. Like I said, 2 years in a row we won it, and we were rated first in the entire state both times we were in it. So, that speaks a lot for a little program like Harlan.